Hey everyone, it's your girl Patrice Grimble, Miss Essie Bookgal 843, and it is another Tuesday night. How have you guys been? Yeah, but guess what? We're blessed and we're here. So I know there's some crazy stuff going on in the world, but guess what? We're blessed and we're here. Okay, you guys? But this next author, her book is going to help us get through some of this stuff that we have going on in this world, okay? So, you guys know, of course, that this is Women's History Month. And every author that I have had this month has been a woman, and she's creating her own path to history. So, of course, we had to go out and we had to go out right. And tonight's author has a book that is called Willpower, The Call to Rise Above. That is what we all are trying to do now. And this book has perfect timing, especially for me and the things that has been going on to rise above it, not attack it. Because I have a tendency to attack it. I've just been on this thing like I'm just going to attack it. But this book, you guys, this is one you need to go ahead and put on your shelf. Keep it there. Go ahead and get your little post-it notes, your sticky notes, the little colorful tabs so you can make notations so you can reference this later on, okay? Now, since we know the title is Willpower, the call to rise above, let's bring up the author. Now, this author is a part of the 100 Authors to Watch with Aspiring Authors magazine. She is, uh, she got a play coming out, y'all. So if y'all live in South Carolina, Ridgeville, Charleston, Dorchester, Berkeley. She got a play coming out on Easter. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But I am going to bring up author Patricia Wade Goins. Come on up.
Good evening. God bless you. What an awesome opportunity. And I'd like to thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this podcast this evening.
Thank you for coming and gracing us with your presence in this book. Y'all, I'm telling you, slow down, Trees. We're not going to get to the book yet. We got to learn a little bit about the author. So, Mrs. Goins, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I surely can. I am evangelist Patricia Wade Goings. I am also a health and wellness life coach. I'm a prayer warrior. I love praying. Um, and as you know, I am a playwright and producer at this point. I am a mother of two, grandmother of two. And I'm a lover of the Lord. I just love the Lord. And I have a passion for encouraging and for writing. And my writing is to inspire others. And that's who I am.
Wow, to inspire others. And we need so much of that. And you giving me that grandma prayers vibe. That grandma that gets up at full 5 o'clock in the morning vibe. Is that you?
That's me. Yes, actually, I'm a part of several prayer ministries 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 11 o'clock, and sometimes two and three times a day on other prayer ministries. I also host the midnight prayer cry on every third Friday. So I kind of stepped aside now, and I'm a prayer warrior on many other prayer watches right now.
Oh, I remember my
But
grandma
I'm
and
that
used to
one. Yes,
my grandma, they used to have midnight prayer, and that would be on a Friday night. And then they used to have noonday prayer, and we would live like the church was here, and we would walk right there to the corner. I remember that so much. And I remember those days falling asleep, and all I would hear my wake up and hear my grandma say, cheese, 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 cheese. And I was like, oh, okay, get up, trees, get up. But I was born and raised in that environment, and so many days I am so grateful for it. So
well,
grateful.
as a prayer warrior, when you're interceding for others, it has so much meaning for yourself as well, at least for me. Because as I'm interceding for you, I'm interceding for myself as well. Because the one thing you have to do is have belief in yourself. So I can't pray for you if I'm not believing in me that God has given me that power and that wisdom to help bring you through. And that is ultimately my goal, to help others to believe in themselves, believe in the power, and be able to help. We got to encourage each other. We got to get away from this self, me, because, not to get away from it, but I get excited when Jesus walked this earth, he wasn't all about himself. He was for everybody. Every boy, girl, woman, man, and child. He was for everybody. So what is our problem now? Why are we so into self when we've been created what in the image of Jesus Christ? Come on now. We got to get out of this self pity party. Let us pull together and unite as one, as God has called us to do. I apologize, because
No, 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 no. Keep on because you are so right. It for some reason I don't even know how the transition happened to me. I hate that because it's never just you.
Mm-mm.
Any way or anything you do in this life, it's going to affect someone
You
somehow
know,
on the.
we have to pray with each other, pray for one another. But see, when we come together, things happen. And I'm not saying that it won't happen when you're praying by yourself, but look at that power that you have when you're unified together and you're on, as you hear it all the time, one accord with what? One accord. He didn't say with 25 accords, with just that one accord. So when we unite together and we're praying, believing, and trusting and knowing, like the woman with the issue, you know, uh, we get out there and we get stuck on she had that issue for 12 years. But that's not what it was really all about. It was her faith that
Hey,
was a walk. The Samaritan
sh-
woman, what was it? It
sh-
was a walk on faith.
if I
So
can
what's
just
wrong with us now? What happened? Where is our faith? So, I'm just saying, as a servant of the Most High, let us come together. We're saying it right here. Let's live it. Let's make it happen. So if we can just touch that one person, that one can go out and touch somebody else. So what is the problem now? We
what
can't
is the
be
problem?
like this all about self, because it's not about you and it's
Mm.
not about me. It's about the kingdom.
Okay, y'all see she about to start. She about to start up. Look at her about to start. But like he said, in two or three together, you got me and you. Then we got the listeners out there. That's okay. He is here and he is in the midst. So why we sitting up here trying to figure out why we trying to do it on our own? Me. You already heard what she said, you guys. Okay, so I really needed that. Because lately I've been feeling like I'm by this by myself, especially the situations that are going on in, I won't say what realm, but I would say, man, listen, I needed that. Because I remember last night asking God, am I in this by myself? So thank you for giving me that word that I am not.
Well, we thank God for the inspiration, because we're here to inspire one another. We're here to lift up the name of Jesus as always, but that is our purpose. In my ministry, that's one of the things that I do have a ministry, praise with purpose. The stage production, as you mentioned earlier, it's when praise becomes my purpose. But the monologue ministry is praise with a purpose. We have a virtual upcoming conference, praise with purpose. What is your purpose? It's all about what God has given us, who He is, and He's given us all gifts. So let's begin. I mean, if you haven't done it, let's start. You're never too old. It's never too late. Let us come together and worship, because if we don't do this now, you know, and I'm sorry, I'm off track.
No, you're
The
not. No,
Bible
you're
does tell us in the Old Testament, everybody's all Trump this, Trump that. Okay, whoopsie doo. But the Bible told us way back when, if my people, which are called by my name,
not.
if they would do what? Humble themselves
Yourself.
and do what? Pray
Pray.
and seek. But
Mm.
now all of a sudden Trump became the president. And now all these people running, praying, praying, praying. Okay, keep praying. I'm not going to tell you not to stop, because we do need to pray. But it was written way back when. So between way back when and now, we can't stop praying. We have to increase our prayer, but we got to come together, because together we must stand. Now is the time. If we never do it any other time, now is the time. I'm also launching 100 evangelists on the move globally. What is that? Prayer. I'm calling out right now on your show, if you allow me to. Uh,
Go
100
ahead.
evangelists. Call me. Let's go. It's 100 evangelists globally. We want to take prayer all over the world. As I broadcasted in Asia, even in Africa and in China, we want to do this thing globally, because the world, what it needs us, it needs prayer, and we need it now.
Okay, y'all heard her. She put out the call. I will have all her links so y'all can answer the call. The call has been made. Okay, you guys? So, willpower, the call to rise above. First of all, this cover. I'm a cover girl. Simple but powerful. How did you come up with the idea of this eagle soaring through the cloud break for your book?
Well, the thing about an eagle, he is one of the birds that actually can fly above the storm. He is made aware of the storm before anybody else knows. So what he does when that storm faces, he takes his wings and he spreads them and he mounts up, as the Bible tells us to mount up with wings as eagle, because he uses those wings for strength. And I had gone through so many, I would say, circumstances. There were many challenges. I had been disappointed. I had been hurt. I had been made ashamed of. People turned their backs on me that I was counting on. And so, through all of my life turmoil at that particular point, I began, through the grace of God, to find that strength. And I didn't realize it at the time, because all I was seeing was the clouds. But there was something lingering above that cloud. And the revelation came to me. It was that eagle. So I began to realize that I had strength too, but I just had to reach up and use what was given to me. And that was that strength, just like the eagle, as he said, mount up with wings of eagles. And so we had to begin to fly out of those circumstances, because as humans, we get caught up in the circumstances and situations, but we have to be stuck there. We have to learn to get up out, and that goes back to what I said. You have to believe in yourself. And at that time, that was a faith walk for me. I had to believe that I was better than that circumstance.
All right now. So, how did this book come about? What made you want to write Willpower?
Well, what made me really want to write it again goes back to some really horrific circumstances that I had gone through, the loss of both parents, um, moving to an area that I pretty much didn't want to be here, because I had no friends. I had moved away from the only family that I knew, the only real friends that I knew. So it was like starting all over, but as an adult. And I came here to South Carolina from Philadelphia, and it was so, so, so different. And I mean, the things that were happening to me, it was a real struggle. And so I remember one Sunday after coming home from church service, I was so inspired. I was just so lifted. My spirit was overjoyed, and I wanted to do something. And when I went to school, I studied journalism, and I wanted to be this international journalist that just went to different places and found out what their problems were and how come they couldn't resolve them. And so this day, all of that came back to me. And I called a friend up and we were having a conversation. She said, "Why don't you write it?" And I was like, yeah, right. And I sat down and I tell you, honestly, I couldn't stop writing. And
Oh
so
my.
that's how Willpower became the book that it is. That rise above was for me because I had to get up out of where I was. I couldn't stay in Boulevard destruction. I couldn't walk that walk because I wasn't born to be destructive. I was born to be instructed. And so being instructed meant that I had an assignment and I knew God had called me for a purpose.
Mm. Do you feel as if you're talking about that word purpose? That word purpose is, oh God, our 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 chief executive. That's what I'm gonna call her because that's exactly what she is. Angela Thomas Smith, always talking about purpose. What does purpose mean to you?
Well, purpose means a couple of things to me. First of all, purpose is your reason for living. Purpose
Mm.
is who you are. Purpose is your understanding. Purpose is your assignment. You know, one of the things that I shared in that book, Willpower, is the word through. I did host a show at one time, and it was called A Place Called Through because we all go through, but it's how you come through. And after you've come through, that's what your purpose is. Because, see, God's going to allow you to go through circumstances and situations. But in that meaning, you're going to find your faith, your strength, and you'll know who you are and what your purpose on this earth is. And our purpose is to serve God with the fullness of who He has made us to be. And so I had to go learn all of this myself. I didn't wake up overnight and just knew it. But that word purpose, it's living, it's life lasting, and it means through. THROUGH. And I'll give you
Um,
the meaning of that shortly.
oh my. Well, go ahead and give me the meaning of that one. Come on. I'm ready. My heart is receiving. So just
Well, T is actually temporary. Circumstances and situations, they're not always, permanent things. Because by the power of the Holy Ghost, God is able, He said, to do what? All things.
yeah.
H is what? Healing. It is also helping, as we stated before. Our assignments are to help one another. R, when we look at R, as with my stage production, the subtitle is Revival, Restoration, and Redemption. The O, Omnipotent, okay? Omnipresent. U, as we talked about, understanding. G is gird up your loins. H again, healing process, and that's THROUGH. We got to be helpers and willing to do what God has charged us to do. And that is your place called through because, again, you've gone through. Yes, you may struggle to get through, but I promise you, when you come through, just know that, too, glory be to God, you have won, you have power because God has given you. He promises you that you can do all things. And that's the glory of the Lord. He didn't say you can do one thing or two things or just a few. He said all things are possible if you what? If you believe. So you've got to believe that even though it may be in the darkest of the darkness in your life, you know, I'm a 9-year breast cancer survivor. And when that doctor told me that I had breast cancer, I did not know what to do. That room was so dark and cold, I didn't want to hear the doctor, I didn't want to see nobody. The breast cancer navigator kept getting on my nerves, and I just wish she would disappear. And today we're really good friends. But I had to go through that. And when the doctor, they came in and he said, well, this is what it is. And they said it was stage 3. And I really got into panic then. But they actually had to call a whole team together to diagnose what was going on. The mystery was they couldn't find out where it was coming from. There were no indications. Today, they still can't find out. There was just this one thing, and I say it was just a limb without a trunk, and that was God. And when I came out of the surgery, everybody was looking at me like, really? Because my song of praise was, and I mean, I was laying up on the stretcher singing, I am free. I am free. Praise the Lord. I'm no longer bound. There's no more chains holding me down because my soul was resting. And it was a pleasure to know that God took me all the way through that. And all my fears and all my doubts, worried about cancer and what people were going to say. And even when I didn't want to come home and tell my children, but God, He brought me through. And so I felt free. And I was sitting there singing, and the nurses were looking at me, la di da di da, what's wrong with her? Hey, that same eagle had done rose up in me then with all he gave me power. And so I felt it and I just laid there for a couple of days and they were looking at me like, and I was like looking at them laughing because I felt so good. So again, I do apologize for going off track, but whew, once you
What?
get to know me, you know.
Did she just say she apologized? What are you apologizing for? You have not. You are
Oh,
implanting in me. There's a reason. See, you know what? God is funny. I always tell people, God is funny. Don't play with him because he got
no,
plenty of jokes.
well, you don't play with God. You have to take him serious, but he can bring in some humorous situations and circumstances to our lives sometimes. But
Hmm.
it's who you are, who you created to be. And I tell people I'm an old lady now, but I thank God for who I am at this age and the things that I've had to endure. And again, they all have not been very pleasant. There have been some times where I mean, I really, really went through some things and I did not know how I was going to come out of them. I started having pity party after pity party. I felt that nobody really cared. Nobody loved me. When I was being sexually assaulted, I didn't care because it was just somebody was there. But I learned later that this was not who God wanted me to be. And I had to learn that, Pat, okay, this is what happened. Both of my parents died within 6 months of each one. They were all I knew. That was all I had. I had an aunt that was so dear to me. I'm named after her actually. And then she died years later and it was very suddenly that tore me apart. And it just seemed like people were just they were so separated from me. I couldn't understand anything. And my next upcoming book, After the Rain, Praise with Purpose, is coming out hopefully the end of this year. So, we go to even after the rain, we get caught up in the thunder and the lightning and the downpour, but what's happening to you after that rain, after that storm? What happens? There it goes on the other side of this place called through.
Mm. And when is that coming out?
We pray that it will be out by the end of the year. We don't have a date yet. We don't have a date yet, but I'm prayerful that it will hit out the end by the end of the year. We are hoping in the next couple of months. However God does it, we take it.
Okay, so I'm gonna
But
keep
we are
y'all
looking
updated.
for it.
But I'm gonna find out first. But I'm gonna keep y'all updated when this book comes out. So I have a question. How is it being a female author in this book industry? Do you find it difficult? Do you find it easy? How does the literature industry treat you? Like how does it feel?
Well, so far, really, I haven't really struggled with it. I think it's because I know so many other female authors. The only thing that I have realized, and I just recently saw this happening, how it becomes competitive.
Mm,
Willpower, the call to rise above, is not a book about competition. It's a book of inspiration and encouragement and empowerment. My book was written based on the fact that I aspire to help as many people as I can in their relationship with God, but in finding themselves. But I find that as a female author, uh, it has been challenging because again, people take it as a competition. And I'm not a competitive person. I really am not, and I don't like to compete. And especially with things that I've written, because I write from my heart and I write from the inspiration of the Holy Ghost. So I can't compete with you. But that's really been one of the I can say the interests that I've seen is that competition.
Wow. I've heard that a lot in industry, that a lot of people hate the competition wise of it. And I usually tell authors there's really no competition because no one is just going to read one book. There is
Exactly.
enough out there for everyone. And collaborations is something that I really do like because I love to see a group of authors get together and work on a piece. Um, so let's go there. If you can collaborate with any author, or let's take it back, let's try this one. If you can collaborate with any gospel singer and write a book, who would it be and why?
Well, at the top of my mind right now, it would be because I really do like CC Winans. I like her brothers as well. But I think that Cece has a unique story. I love Yolanda Adams. Um, their music, I believe, is coming from their hearts. I believe that their passion lies within those songs, the lyrics of their music. Um, and their music is a song of inspiration. It's also a song of encouragement. And a lot of times we get caught up into the rhythm of the music. But when
Mm.
you sit back and you really begin to listen to the words, um, you have greater meaning. It has greater meaning for you if you just listen to what's being said. And so I would say if I ever had to co-author a book, they would be at the top of the list that I would do. And because I just really believe in what they're singing. I really do.
Now I have to admit I am a CC Winans, and I totally forgot all about Yolanda Adams. I totally forgot all about Yolanda Adams. And I can hear her song Open My Heart. I
Hmm.
forgot about her. Okay. So
Yeah, and
you,
it's a cry. It's a song of she's reaching out to God here.
yes, and it's a very, yeah, it's really, when you think about it, it is a intimate moment between you and God when it comes down to that song.
Hmm.
Very intimate moment. It's like, I surrender all. This is my heart. This is everything that's going on. I need you. I know you're going to guide me. What do I need to do?
It's just like the opening of our production. Not to take you from that thought. Um, hmm, the opening of the stage production, When Praise Becomes My Purpose. One of the songs that we're opening with is Break Every Chain. And that's Tasha Cobb, I believe. And that's because it's a cry that, actually, can you believe I am the opening act? But I'm not singing, I promise you. I'm not going to do that part. But it's a cry for God to, help us out, to help bring us through our struggles and the trials. And again, that revival, restoration, and redemption, it is so that those chains have to come off of us. So, I truly wish you could be there with us. When those chains hit that stage floor, I guarantee you'll be touched.
So I was actually going to ask you to tell us a little bit about it, when it would be, where it would be, so our listeners can have like a little chance to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. So give us some information about your stage play. That's happening Easter, correct?
Yeah, it's happening actually April the 19th at 6 p.m. and it's at the Colleton Civic Center in Walterboro, South Carolina. The doors will open promptly at 6 p.m. And of course, it is called When Praise Becomes My Purpose. And this production, it's a life story. It really is a life story. Um, we talk about sexual sex trafficking, drug use is there, things happening. The church is all broken up, tore up, upside down. There's an adulterous relationship that happens. There's a kidnapping that goes on. But at the end of the day, the family has been restored. The church has been restored as well through this revival. And at the very end of the day, through all of the scenes, it will be a brand new life. And that will be the closing of John P. Key's song, Brand New Life, because he has given us new life. So I
So,
encourage you, if you're close to Waterboro, please come out. You won't be disappointed.
and you guys check my Facebook and my social media. I will be sharing the flyer. She's going to send me a copy of it. Is there any cost or anything that's associated with the play?
Yes, unfortunately, we do have to charge because things do cost us as well. And right now, the tickets are available via our website at www.willpower.thecalltoriseabove.org, and the tickets are $27. Underneath the donation tag, please type in $27. You will get your receipt as well as I will get one too to let me know that you have purchased your ticket. At the door, the tickets will go up to $30.
Okay, so you guys, if you're looking at the bottom, that's the website that she just quoted where you can get your tickets, okay? And remember, it's Easter at 6 p.m. So you already went to church, you already had your dinner. So come on out, relax, and have a good old time and support this beautiful woman of God. But before we leave, can you tell us how we can get a copy of your book, how we can follow you on social media, any information that we can still stay connected to you?
Why, sure. You can now get my book. It is available on Amazon, and of course, it is on any online bookstore. It is available under Willpower. It's titled "The Call to Rise Above." Please follow me on Facebook as well. A place called Through. You may also find me on Facebook as author Patricia Wade Goings. You may also find me on Facebook under the fan club page for When Praise Becomes My Purpose. You can also reach me in area code of 843, and my number is 226-2062. You can send me an email at pgoingswp@gmail.com. You find me all over Facebook. I am a Facebook person, so you can't say that you won't ever find me there. Look out for the next book, After the Rain, Praise with Purpose. It's coming. It really is coming. But you will enjoy Willpower, the Call to Rise Above. I promise you, you won't be disappointed by that either.
So you guys go ahead and grab the book. It's on Amazon, it's on a website. Matter of fact, go ahead and follow her, which is something new I'm doing. I never used to follow authors on Amazon because I was hearing that you can't leave reviews and you can't do that. But then I started to think that how would I not? Why would I not follow these authors? As I love their work. So here is her Amazon page. Go ahead and find her, follow her page. So when the new book drops, Amazon will send you something, say, hey, this author has her new book out. Okay. What would you like to leave your listeners tonight? If you could say one final word to them, what would it be?
Be encouraged. Believe in yourself. Believe and know that all things are possible, but you do have to believe. Believe.
Y'all heard what she said. Believe in yourself. All things are possible. And you know what? I received that. I totally received that. I thank
Amen.
you for being here tonight, Minister Goings.
Well,
I
I
really
thank you. It's been awesome. I have truly, I'm bubbling over myself. for you allowing me to be a part of your show tonight. I hope that this is not the last time that you'll invite me back. But I want you to know you have blessed my heart as well. And to those that are listening in, I hope that I have said something to encourage you as well.
Well, one thing about SC Book Gals and Friends, we are an open book. So when your new book comes out, or even before you new, if you say, "Hey, I have a message for my readers. Can I come on your broadcast? Tell me what Tuesday." We always know the time is at 8 o'clock. You just tell me what Tuesday, and we gonna make it happen.
Awesome. Awesome.
So you guys, thank you for another night, another Tuesday, another author, another book. So I am going to make a call out to all the poets. I have 4 Tuesdays, and 2 of them have already been taken. So, if you would like to talk about your journey to poetry, how poetry has changed your life, or you just want to talk about your book of poetry, send me an email at scbookouterfriends.com. Oh, I'm sorry, scbookouterfriends at gmail.com, or send me a message on Facebook under Patrice Grimble, and we will have you on next month's broadcast where we celebrate National Poetry Month. You guys, you have been blessed tonight. Again, we thank you, author, minister, evangelist, Patricia Weed Goings. Go grab her book, Willpower. Another Tuesday night. Thank you guys for being here. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you.